Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Welcome to another episode of Comment Foolery Exposed. This is from the light skin, dark skin debate that I recently did like a long video on, kind of analyzing it. Let's look at some of the comment foolery. This person says, I wish we would really move on from this light skin versus dark skin stuff. So, do you notice how usually people who don't want to hear the light skin side automatically make it a competition? Like, nobody said it's light skinned versus dark skinned. Like, why can't it just be dark skinned people talking and light skinned people talking? Have you ever noticed that as soon as you include light skinned people in the conversation, suddenly it's light versus dark? Like now it's a competition basically because there are light skinned people involved in it. This person says, I'm just baffled. They said light skinned people don't experience colorism. Like what? How would you know? You aren't even light skinned. There's so much prejudice I experienced about being light skinned. It's ridiculous. Not only is it used as a means of questioning my intelligence, but also my validity as a black person. We experience prejudice based on our color, but it's not colorism. What? Exactly. Like, why is it only colorist if the person is not a lighter skinned person? Also, you're forgetting that just because you're light skinned doesn't mean you're the lightest person in the world. So you could still experience colorism where there's a person that's even lighter than you making comments like, you're not even light skinned, so you don't get to speak on stuff that's light skinned. So a lighter person than you trying to use your darker caramel shade as a way to invalidate your light skinned experience is actually a form of colorism. This is why I say on my channel, I don't identity police because you're silencing somebody for being too dark. You're silencing them because they don't pass the paper bag test. That's colorism. This person said, Brown homie saying he's light skinned. Are the light skins in the room with us? This person said, These the lightest you could find? They are mostly brown skin. I don't think they have the true light skin experience. So, because some of them don't pass the paper bag test, that invalidates their experience. This person says, I only see two light complexion black people on the stage, but carry on. So we got an unambiguous dark skinned girl arguing, saying that there are only two light skins. The other ones are not valid. They're too dark. They need to get off the stage because they're too dark. This person said, It's so crazy how we view ourselves. Sabrina isn't dark, but I would never have considered her light skin, just brown, maybe lighter than her family she referenced. First of all, I didn't even know the girl's name was Sabrina. So, isn't it interesting how on a random YouTube video, you got people memorizing your name and then calling you out by name in the comment section saying that, oh, that's interesting. You're probably just lighter than your family members. So, they're talking about her family of origin and speculating about the complexions of not just her, but also her family members. This is how obsessed a lot of people are with who's light skinned and who's not. And have you ever noticed it's usually unambiguous people who are dark skinned who argue about light skin the most? This person says, like two of the light skins were brown skin. This person said, I'm sorry, but Sabrina wasn't light skinned. So notice how they're coming mainly for the girl, the lighter skinned girl. And notice how they're literally ignoring everything the lighter skin side was saying. And instead, they'd rather argue back and forth about who's the lightest and who's not, because that's how much they pedestalize light skin. But they'll swear up and down that they don't pedestalize your skin tone. If you're light skin, people will swear up and down they don't give a fuck. But in this comment section, you already got hundreds of people arguing back and forth. Wait a minute, how light skinned is she? Oh, wait, no, she's just light in reference to her family. Oh, wait, no, she doesn't even pass the paper bag test. So fuck that bitch. She's too dark. Somebody else says, This is a terrible cast for the light skinned people because two of them aren't even light skinned. This person says, Who runs this channel? Fire them immediately. They don't have a clue what dark skin and light skin people are. The two who talked about light skin and brown skin, and then they have an emoji like shaking their head. Somebody else says, This is brown skin versus dark skin. So apparently, this guy is the new standard for brown skin. So I don't want to hear any more complaints about light skins getting all the roles in media. I don't want to hear any more complaints about colorism in the music industry because according to this person, everybody's brown skin. Ice Spice is brown skin. Everybody's brown. And then we've got people using a term from the exotical community. This person says the light skins are brown though. The exception is the guy with the curly hair and glasses. Y'all should have gotten black MGMs who could pass, aka pass the paper bag test, is what this person is saying. So they're actually a colorist themselves because they're still upholding the paper bag test. And also, We know that people in real life, they're not walking around with paper bags. But this person says they are Black folks who I'd consider light. Sabrina is my color and I am not light skinned. Okay, just because you don't identify yourself as light doesn't mean that other people can't identify themselves that way. This person says, how do you find a middle ground when there are only two light skinned people in this video, though? This person says, where's the light skin? I see two. So do you see how obsessed they are with light skin? Nobody's talking about the dark skin talking points or the lighter skin people's talking points. It's all about obsessing over who's light skin and who's not. this this person says there are only two light-skinned people on the panel. Were the other two last-minute replacements? I know this Nicca not walking around thinking he's light-skinned. This other person says Sabrina and the dude in burgundy are brown, not light. Someone said they got Kamala as the moderator. So the moderator has kind of this Indian sounding accent, or like they're trying to stereotype and say that she sounds Indian, and they're trying to say that she's Kamala. This person says the title should have been light skin, brown skin, and dark skin middle ground because clearly they casted two brown skins to be a part of the light skin panel. People get so upset if you have any brown in your complexion and others are calling you light skin. They're going to take that light skin trophy away from you because that's just a title. That's like bigger than winning a Grammy in their eyes. I mean, that's like the highest status you can have. So, of course, you're going to get some unambiguous people mad about that because by calling someone light skinned in their eyes, you're basically putting them on a pedestal. So they're like, oh, hell no, you don't get to have this light skin title. I'm taking it away from you. This person says, still having this conversation is a massive step back in the Black community. So it's funny how now it's a step back in the Black community. Now that we've got light skinned people making channels, we've got Exoticals making channels, and now Jubilee is making a video and suddenly it's a step back. But before, it was not a step back. Oh, that was a step forward. Anyway, what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.